Hey guys, it's TheFrXion here, or TigerTank12, however you want to call me. I don't really care. And today I've got a gameplay in my ISU 152 for you guys. And actually I wanted to take excuse me, I'm a little bit cold right now. I actually wanted to use a gameplay of the TheFrXion 4257, the first Swedish tank in the game, because the topic also kind of connects with the Swedish tanks that are going to be added in patch 9.17. Yeah, it's 9.17, yeah. I always forget that. I always think we're at 10.17, but we're at 9.17. And that brings me pretty much to the topic of today. I've had a lot of videos where we kind of taken a look at the past, the last 5 years, where we have talked about the history of World of Tanks, how far World of Tanks has come, and now I think the main topic is going to be, where does this leave us from now? We have, in the last 5 years, had new maps, new nations added, we had new massive amounts of premium tanks added to the game, new game modes that have been added but never really stuck around for very long. Then we had events, campaigns, we had new matchmaking, we had physics, one of the biggest updates back in 2013 or 12, I'm not sure, I kind of forgot about that. I've been playing the game since the very beginning, so I have witnessed all the changes that have occurred to World of Tanks, and I think physics was one of the biggest changes, because suddenly the ridgeline was not like freaking stones and stuff were not a part of the obstacle, but all of a sudden they became active part of the map that you could use for your tank. And right here, poor T-43, that shot actually hit him right in the face and he lost about 900 HP. But I digress. So yeah, physics really changed the game. All of a sudden tanks could be flipped. Okay, that was later on. That was even later on, just a few patches ago, because even with physics, flipping was almost impossible. They have improved movement with the patch somewhere 9.3 or something like that. No, not 9.3, but 9.02 or something like that. They improved movement with the tanks so that the tracks actually had more traction, all that kind of stuff, and good stuff all along. So we cannot say that Wargaming has not been doing their job. Wargaming has been creating the game that they envisioned most of the time. We also had a lot of setbacks. Artillery, for example, was a very big problem for a very long time. Some still consider it a problem. And the Waffenträger of E100, unbalanced tanks, balancing was always an issue. So 5 years down the line, 2016, the people are still playing the game, which is amazing feat. A 5-year-old game which has been upgraded over and over again. Of course, you cannot compare this to some kind of first-person shooter or some kind of game like that. This there is no sequel that is coming up to this game. Most definitely not. Not like Call of Duty Modern Warfare or Call of Duty Black Ops 1, 2, 3. So people are sticking to the game because all their progress that they have achieved over the years of playing this game has accumulated in this one game, and there will definitely not be a sequel. Well, maybe somewhere down the line. There have been a lot of different games that have come out. Competition, Armored Warfare on the one side, War Thunder on the other, and they're all great games. But Wargaming and World of Tanks is pretty much the trendsetter for this kind of genre with tanks, because they introduced this, and obviously they reached such popularity with all kind of player bases all over the world. Okay, North America, they always have been struggling with player bases because I don't know, this continent is not really interested in tank combat, not like Russia or Europe, where the player bases have been very high from the get-go. Now, obviously, 5 years is a long time. People have achieved a lot of things in 5 years. They've seen almost everything that this game has to offer, or have seen it 4 or 5 times. I myself have seen pretty much everything in the game, at least 10 times. I've played so many games, 26,000 matches. That accumulates to a lot of hours spent in World of Tanks and a lot of frustration, but mainly just pure joy because I love this game. I enjoy it so much that I'm still playing it, that I actually even spent real money on the game, and I do not regret any of that because I enjoy this game so much. That is why I'm making videos, right? Unfortunately, right there, the shot kind of goes high. I have to say though, the ISU 152, if you kind of get used to this tank and you get used to the 152mm BL-10 gun, you're gonna have so much fun with this vehicle, man. You can just penetrate anything, all the way to tier 10. It's such a powerful gun, and I can't wait for the Object 704. So yeah, I digress again. We as a player basis, we have played a lot of matches, and maybe some of us are tired of playing World of Tanks, and that is where the interesting part is coming into play. What about the future? World of Tanks has done so much in the past with all the events to make the game more appealing to new players, or even to the old veterans who have played this game for 5 years and now just are maybe busy, don't have, or playing other games right now, and don't spend that much time on this game as they used to spend. That obviously leaves a big window open, a window of opportunity, but also of how should I put it? The dangers of not being able to grasp the chance to actually keep the player base and keep this game running. Because the future on this game right now, they have made so many maps, they have made so many different tank nations available in the game, that we are currently not looking at a deficit of tanks, because there are so many tanks in the game, but much rather a deficit of boredom. Unfortunately, right there, artillery gets me. I was still lit, and I was a little bit frustrated with that shot. But whatever. So, we have had so many different nations in the game, and we have to acknowledge that a lot of the change came from playing a different tank. Autoloaders played extremely differently from any other vehicle that were in the game when they were introduced in 2012, in the late era of stage of 2012 with the French tanks. The AMX 50B was something entirely new and something completely different from the T110E5 or the E100. While the E100 had a big gun, the AMX 50B could just thrash out 4 rounds in about 5, okay, I don't know, I never played the 50B, but I think it's about 12 seconds, or a little bit less, because the MX 5120 has a reload time of about, in between shots, I think it's about 3.3 seconds. So, right now we're at a place where we have seen so much in the game, and now we're expecting something new. And Wargaming knows that. And they're doing a massive, amazing job with the community updates right now. Focus Friday with Meathead Militia. This guy is just amazing. A lot of people think he's one of the reasons why Wargaming is doing so great right now. Especially on the North American server, because they have a personality who stands for the Wargaming branch for for the corporation. He's a face that we can all recognize, and he's just a tanker like us. He plays this game and he enjoys it, and he's a very sympathetic guy. So that is what we kind of connect together, right? I think that is one of the great things about Wargaming right now. They're trying to get this connection, or they already have the connection right now. They always had forums where you could write to them, where you could always chat to them. They had people playing the game where you could write to them. Well, sometimes they would answer, but not most of the time. And all in all, they always try to stay close to the community, never really shut themselves off. And I think what we're waiting for in the future is just that they keep on doing their work, balancing, keep on fixing the balancing. The Swedish tanks that will be coming out, that is going to be one of the most exciting things for a lot of people because of the tier 10 vehicle, which is also one of the vehicles that is going to be playing completely different. I think people are waiting for new maps or old maps to return, maps that we have played back in the days. South Coast, Komarin, although that map was terrible. I think people want to just try out the old maps again, and because it is a nostalgia feeling. Some maps have been out for I don't know how many patches, at least 2 or 3 years. People want to try them out again, maybe with the new balancing, with the new matchmaking, with the new addition of tanks. They play out differently now, and people want to get new maps. They want to be playing on different maps, maybe some kind of new missions, like new kind of play game modes where you have to escort vehicles. That is one of the reasons why so many people enjoy Armored Warfare, and that is also one of the problems that they are facing in Armored Warfare. They have a PvE kind of style gameplay mechanic, and the PvE is so good that a lot of people don't play PvP anymore, and thus they're lacking PvP players. PvE, maybe World of Tanks has enough players, I think, for both, but if they add PvE, I think that would help a lot of people getting better at the game and just relaxing from the constant stress of PvP, people expecting something from you when you're just new to the game, and people blaming you for all kinds of stupid shit. I think PvE might bring some new elements, or I don't know, some kind of escort mission, all that kind of stuff. Things might be very different. It's just that I know that Wargaming have tried out different things like historical battles. The other ones where you had infinite respawns, or you had 3 tanks where you could always spawn in, or at least you had the 3 tanks, and when all the 3 tanks were dead, you couldn't spawn in again with the 2 flags on the opposite side. The mission for the for the T-22. I'm not sure, is it a T-22? You guys know the medium tank that you could unlock, the one tank that was so freaking OP, with the really weird angled frontal armor there. Yeah, so there are a lot of ideas, a lot of huge potential that they could increase and build upon, and I just want to know how you guys feel about World of Tanks right now and the future of World of Tanks. How do you guys think the future of World of Tanks will look like? Will you guys still be playing in, I don't know, 1 or 2 years if they just add new nations and increase or make the balancing better? Or are you just kind of tired without having the new kind of inspiration to play this game anymore? Because there are just things that are missing, because it's just kind of stale and always the same. So, yeah. So I see you guys on the next video. Until then, comment, like, subscribe, and yeah, bye.